Stay put. Wait. Okay. Up, up. Okay, good girls. Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to the channel. It's the Poodle Mom again with the two toy poodles. In this video, we are going to be sharing with you our first annual visit for the year 2021, the results of course, our take on animal vaccinations and maybe the expenses, and as well as how it has been going for them feeding all natural and taking the all natural route and not doing the usual kibble and dog food. If you guys are interested in that, then please keep on watching. Just take it literally. You basically take your pet to the vet to have them thoroughly examined physically and maybe do some tests for purposes of monitoring. It's basically some sort of prevention method that you're creating like a history of your pets and their results, whether they have good values or not. And that is something that you guys can always look at when things go wrong. I think it depends on the country that you are from, what happens in an annual vet visit. Here in the Philippines, it's not really practiced by a lot of pet parents, which is why it's my vet and I who kind of decide what kind of tests that we do for them. So I offer a physical, thorough examination, eyes, ears, mouth, nose, as well as checking for heart murmurs and their lungs, and then a full CBC, and then liver and kidney tests, as well as x-rays, most especially for Bailey, for her Luxating Patella. We are always monitoring that every year. And then of course, for checking whether they have enlarged hearts and stuff. So the x-rays are useful for that. And then of course, the Titer testing or the booster shots. So we are from the Philippines and I take my girls to Kings Road Veterinary Clinic in Daanghari, Cavite. And people judge me for driving all the way there because we live 2-3 cities away. And it's quite far because there are nearby vets around my area. But the thing is, once you find a vet that really resonates with you, it's so hard for you to jump ship. I'm just thankful that I have such an amazing relationship with our vet. A big thank you to Kings Road Veterinary Clinic and Dr. James as well as the team, because you guys have been tolerating how excessive I am. And I always apologize for that, but Doc just replied to me, it's okay, we're used to it.
With regards to titer testing and vaccinations, I prefer to titer test my dogs. So what is titer testing? It's basically testing for the immunity of your dogs to the diseases like parvo, distemper, etc. It has been 4 years since I have been titer testing my dogs, and for the last 4 years they have been showing high immunity to the diseases. So I haven't vaccinated them for the last 4 years. But sadly this year I was not able to titer test them because Kings Road no longer offers it due to the very low demand for titer testing. If you must know, titer testing is definitely a lot more expensive than vaccinations. It's because of that reason that there is a low demand for the titer testing, since not a lot of pet parents avail for it because it's a lot more expensive. So the more people do titer testing, the more manufacturers will produce it, and maybe the prices will go lower. And I highly recommend it because it's definitely a lot safer for your pets. And if your vet offers it, please, if you can afford it, by all means do titer testing over vaccinations.
Alright, so for the moment you guys have been waiting for, my report cards. So let's get on with the healthy pup, my awardee. So this is her result. The highlighted stuff, according to Doc James, is negligible. It just means that she's quite dehydrated. I'm not scared about this. It's because we went to their vet clinic at 9 a.m. and of course, I have to get ready before that. When I start getting ready, dressing up and stuff, the girls get super anxious. When I try to feed them breakfast and stuff, they will not take it. Neither if I try to get them to drink water, they will not take it. So I understand why the results are like this. But nonetheless, all the major values are normal and she's doing well with the food that I'm giving her. So this is her CBC, and then this is her liver and kidney test. And as you can see, they are all normal. And this red over here, according to Dr. James, pets should have either a normal or low and never high. So this is actually good results. As for Summer's health, when it comes to the physical exam, everything is okay. She doesn't need to get a dental yet. Her heart and lungs are okay in size, no heart murmurs and anything that needs to be addressed. So doctor says keep on doing what we're doing, and then address the dehydration. But again, that I know the reason for that, so she doesn't need any follow-up. I think when it comes to school and grades, she would be a dropout by now. I feel like Bailey has 9 lives, trust me. I've had several scares all throughout her life. Okay, So of course, Bailey will not be Bailey without her red marks. So like Summer, she's also quite dehydrated. Again, that's because of not eating and not drinking when I get dressed. And over this pandemic, I have been with them 24/7, so they have been becoming too attached. And like I said, we have to work on our separation anxiety once again. So that's a reason for her dehydration. But there are values that are he said that it's nothing to be super afraid of, but she does need a follow-up checkup just to see if this will still be, because these three can be quite related to the dehydration, which is why doc just wants like an extra follow-up after 2 weeks. So we will be back to the vet after 2 weeks. He said these values could mean that it's either she has really small cells, and it could mean many things. It could mean, one, that's just how her cells are because of how she is, her genetic. I also asked what it means when she has a small cell count. It just basically means that she could get tired easily, or it could be something else, but he says it's rarely the case, and he cannot say anything for certain until we see the values for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, that's typical for Bailey. He wasn't scared because he said he checked our previous years, and more often than not, it's in the same range of values, which was why I was also quite reassured that it's gonna be fine. I'm honestly not scared. It's like I said, it's very normal for Bailey. This is the perfect example of having a history of your pet's health is very useful to your vets in checking if it is normal or not. What's normal here and what's low and what's high, it's just an average of the different sizes of dogs, and it really is different per dog. Like, there's no test for specifically this size of dogs and this size of dogs. So depending on your pet's history and their values, it's how they are. But the main values that I have always been worried about were her ALT levels. Like I said, this is only the second year that we have had normal ALT levels, and that's thanks to the supplements we use. And you guys know what I use, NHV as well as Augustin approved. This was her previous result, which was last year. So as you can see, there was a red, and now it's gone. So yeah, overall good results. And then it's only with Bailey that I asked for printouts of her x-rays. So like I said, we try to monitor. Bailey has Luxating Patella on her left back leg, if I'm not mistaken, and it's seen here. So they have a digital copy of this, which is a lot more clear, but since now that they can print it, I asked if I could have a copy for myself as well, because you never know, it's just useful to have. And it's still there. He said it hasn't progressed whatsoever. It's still a grade 1 Vaccinating Patella. And with her values, the reason why Doc was very not really complacent, but calm and not super worried is because he checked all her vitals and everything. She's fine, she's hyper, she's energetic, she takes food, there's no problem whatsoever. That's why it's also important that you guys stick with a certain vet, because once they get to know the pups and they know what's normal from not, it's a lot easier for them to make their educated diagnosis and whatsoever. This is only the second year that I've only paid for their tests and health checkups, because more often than not, every time we have our animal checkups, my high school dropout is always with meds. It's genetic. I have no choice. I can't just leave her to die. Which was why when it comes to expenses, I have my own bank account for them. So I set aside money every month from my business and from my own salary and other gigs and sideline hustles, so that when it comes to vet expenses, like their annual vet expenses, or something happens, I need to take them, I'm ready to shell out money. And that's not money from my pocket. I mean, it is money from my pocket, but it already is set aside, and it will not be added to my current budget. I am promoting going all natural, but I also will be very, very honest that there aren't enough studies to prove that it's the way to go. Having these records is somewhat reassuring that we are doing okay, and hopefully we will continue to do okay. Do whatever is right for your own pet. Every pet is different, every person is different, every culture is different. Let whatever we share be a source of insights and ideas of what you can do. Please be responsible for your own pets. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you found some value into it, don't forget to smash the like button, because it would really, really, really help the channel. And if you haven't, please consider subscribing to the channel for for more videos like this in the near future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you again next time.